Hello everyone. This is a weird one, but it's always a weird one. So welcome back to AuDHD and Some. Today's episode is one of those topics I've been thinking about for a while because the more neurodivergent people I meet, the more I realise I'm not alone in this freaking world. And I want to talk about why so many neurodivergent people seem to think they're psychic or they've got magical powers. And I'm not saying they don't, because I've grown up thinking that I did. Before anyone gets upset, I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm not saying psychics are real or not real. What I'm talking about is the experience that so many of us seem to share. When I was younger, I genuinely thought there was something so different about me, and I just couldn't put my finger on it. It was in the era of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Yes, I'm quite old, and I thought that one day I would be able to magically point my finger and something would appear. I was convinced that maybe I would unlock the magical powers on my 10th, 12th, 14th, 16th birthday. Now I'm kind of thinking I'm hopefully going to unlock them on my 41st. You see where I'm going with this? I did think there was something different, something special. And the more neurodivergent people I meet, the more people are telling me the same story. I thought I could sense things. I could pick up on things before they happened. I felt like I understood people in a way that others didn't. And I always felt connected, like, to signs, coincidences and patterns. And deja vu is something that ran frequently rampant in my head. But as I've got older and I work in the sector I work in, I started meeting other AuDHD people, specifically on my lovely AuDHD group on Facebook, which you're all more than welcome to join. And do you know what I discovered? Unfortunately, or fortunately, I'm not quite sure, it depends what spin you put on it, loads of them had exactly the same experiences as me. Some were obsessed with astrology, some loved tarot, and some believed they could read people's energy. Some felt like they could predict what people were going to do, and some had incredibly vivid imaginations as children, and generally believed, just like me, that they had special abilities too. It got me wondering whether this is actually linked to being neurodivergent. One thing AuDHD and ADHD and autistic people are often is very good at pattern recognition. But when we're children, we don't realise that's what we're doing. We think it's a special power. Our brains are constantly scanning for information. We're making connections between things that other people might completely miss because we have to do it for survival. And sometimes that's incredibly useful. But it can also mean we start finding meaning in every single little thing. And then we have so much hypervigilance. A lot of neurodivergent people have spent their entire lives monitoring other people, watching faces, watching moods, watching for signs that somebody is annoyed, upset, or about to reject us. And then after years of doing that, you can become incredibly good at reading people. And I was an expert at reading people, whether I believed what I was reading and still ignored some signs in older life. I still was able to read people. So good, in fact, that I felt like I was psychic. But maybe it wasn't so magical. Maybe it was just years and years of observing people. Maybe it's a brain that's processing thousands of tiny details in the background. So maybe it is a superpower, but just in a different way to what Sabrina the Teenage Witch had. I think many of us underestimate how vivid our inner worlds can be. As children especially, many neurodivergent people create rich fantasy worlds and spend huge amounts of time daydreaming and imagining possibilities and other opportunities and other universes. And when you combine imagination, pattern, recognition, intuition, and hypervigilance all together, it's not surprising that some of us grow up feeling different in ways that we can't quite explain. I always felt inheritedly different to everybody else I knew. Now it makes sense why, but then I just thought I must be magic. As a child, I didn't think, oh, I think different because I'm neurodivergent. No, obviously, I thought I was magic. What's fascinating is how many neurodivergent people I've spoken to have all had identical experiences. So if you've ever thought you were psychic magically, unusually intuitive or able to sense things other people couldn't, I'd love to know. I find it fascinating. I still do think that it comes with a little psychic ability. So I'm not like saying that we're not psychic. I do feel maybe we are chosen. Maybe empathy helps. But thank you for listening. I'll speak to you all in the next episode. I'll be trying to execute my magic powers right now. Thank you guys.